A thing that I've done on so many records is a subtle thing of power, where the power guitars are in there to where if you mute them, you'd miss them. But if you unmute them, it's like, okay, I think I can hear them. But it would be kind of empty without them.
Now, when you're doing that,
Yeah.
how do you voice the chords and how do you adjust your tone? What do you think about to be able to create a part
Right.
and a sound
Right.
that has impact but doesn't step on everything?
Right. Well, one, I'm choosing either between a vintage power, guitar sound, or more of a modern.
Mm-hmm.
And when I think of vintage, I have a 1966 50-watt Marshall Plexi head, and a Les Paul into that, a well-tuned Les Paul, doubled up. It's pretty amazing.
Mm-hmm.
It gets you in that pocket. And the 412 cabinet, Marshall 412, it leaves room for the vocal. It doesn't totally walk on the vocal mid-range wise. Power, like a modern power, is even more so scooped out, with a modern head,
Mm-hmm.
whether it's a boogie head. I've got a custom audio head, and it adds even, it's more of a caricature of what a Marshall would do with more scoop. And you can get away with a little bit more in that sound because you're not going to be walking on the vocal.
Now, is there a way that you voice the chords, or
Yeah.
that you play the strings, or?
There was I got an interesting lesson in that from listening. I was able to listen to some early Kelly Clarkson pop tracks and the way they layered up stuff, and all the parts were doubled. So if this were a pop song where the guitars needed to be very prominent, the power guitars are very prominent,
Mm-hmm.
what they would do is that you would have this low, maybe like a detuned baritone thing that's super just like whole notes, not a lot of movement at all, doubled up, in tune, and just super low and just very basic.
Mm-hmm.
The next layer up would be an inversion up with more movement and maybe some passing tones, but still in a lower register, but not like sub
Mm-hmm.
low, whatever. And then there would be a third pass, double two, where it's yet up another inversion and with lots more movement to it. And when you put in these 6 guitars, 3 aside, they were so well orchestrated that it sounded like one fantastic guitar.